What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
And today for the Great Debaters, we got a little D.O.C. for you. Get ready. Alright, Amir, so obviously here at the Great Debaters, we love pretty much everything that Ruthless Records put out, especially prior to Dr. Dre leaving.
Yeah.
So, that includes the D.O.C's No One Could Do a Better album, which dropped in '89 and really set off kind of the second wave of what Ruthless was going to be during its peak. You know, we had the success, of course, of Eazy-E with Easy Does It, N.W.A. Straight Outta Compton in '88, and then '89. On the rap side, at least, we get the D.O.C. No One Could Do It Better, and really showed that Ruthless was a major force in the rap world and in entertainment in general. And as they had done on both Easy Does It and Straight Outta Compton, they featured different people on different songs in a way that was just starting to gain momentum. And today's topic at hand is the final song, aptly titled The Grand Finale, from No One Could Do It Better. So Amir, this is when the posse cut was really starting to gain traction, was a novelty, and this one, especially of the first wave, is one of the best in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
It is.
So we got to go through and pick who has the best verse on the Grand Finale by the D.O.C. So the first verse, of course, starts off with your good friend O'Shea Jackson, and dude, it's amazing. His verse is so good. So Amir, what do you like about it?
That's the appropriate term to use. Actually, let's backtrack real quick. So you said that this is, like one of the first wave posse cuts ever. Is this, I don't think I've heard anything. Maybe in '89, was that when Buddy was released? With the native
But
tongues?
before that, we have the Symphony by Marley Marl.
Okay.
We also have, with it's just being one artist, we have, like, obviously with N.W.A. and the D.O.C. Parental Discretion Advised.
Of course.
We have Q-Tip was on the promo and Black is Black by the Jung Brothers. So we had artists. Dana Dane featured Herbie Lovebug on his material. So we had different people on the Dana Dane with Fame album. But, you know, there were different people popping up. King T featured DJ Pooh, was on a couple songs of his early material.
Yeah.
That was out before No One Can Do It Better. So it was happening. But it wasn't really till the Symphony where we started having an overload of artists. And then Big Daddy Kane had Nice and Smooth on Pimpin' Ain't Easy, and Scoob and Scrap too. So it's like all these different things were starting to happen in rap because the artists were evolving, expanding, and, you know, being more creative and trying different things. Life is Too Short. Too Short had the Danger Zone female group, and then Rappin' Forte on Don't Fight the Feeling.
Yeah.
So it was starting to happen. And this, I would say, of all of those, even including the Symphony, this is probably the first one where you had like the super heavy hitters of the highest caliber coming. And then for those who saw it before, we had one that came out after this, which was Burn Hollywood Burn with Public Enemy featuring Ice Cube and Big Daddy Kane. So watch that video if you haven't already. Or go revisit it, of course, for the Great Debaters. But this was still a novelty, so for me, when I was hearing the song back when it came out, I was just stunned to hear all these amazing dudes on the song, and Dr. Dre produced it, and they're all like coming in and out of it. And at this point, we were, you know, Eazy-E had been a platinum artist, N.W.A. had been a platinum group, and then the D.O.C. is the next wave of that on the rap side for Ruthless, and it was just shocking to hear it, because back then I didn't look and read the credits too much. I just let the album play, so I didn't know what to expect or anything. So at the end, when Dr. Dre comes on and then Ice Cube starts the song, I was like, what is going on here?
So Dre, I like how it's a similar format to their F the Police song, where Dre is kind of coming in and out of the song, introducing people, talking. We have the same setup of Ice Cube being first, MC Ren being second, Eazy-E third, and then this one we got a little extra flavor with the D.O.C. So Ice Cube being, as you all should know by now, my favorite rapper. He just, come on, man. He sets it off. Soren said it well. He comes in. He does amazing, to say the least.
Yeah.
Lines that stick out to me, especially were his last lines of the song where he says, take 10 paces and I draw, and there's a mother what?
Right.
Left dead in the alley, Ice Cube is the what on the grand finale. Like, to end songs the way he does, to start his verse the way he did, and I also feel like Ice Cube, as well as the other members on this song, have I don't want to say a fast flow, but a slightly sped up flow, and I think it's because of the D.O.C's verse, which we'll get to in a second.
Right.
But Ice Cube starts it off incredibly well in true fashion. And I'm also, on a side note, I'm so upset when I heard the last song by Above the Law that Ice Cube was not on it.
Yes.
I was so upset because it said featuring N.W.A.
Right.
And then he wasn't on it. But come on.
We'll have to do that another day.
We'll do that one. We'll do that one another day. But what about you with Cube and then Ren?
Man, Cube starting it off. It's just so amazing looking back at these songs and thinking of the lyrics, because Cube's imagery and what he does, like the pin in a hand grenade and all these other things that he references, it's just so
Alcatraz.
Dude, it's just, there's too much to it. And it's the mix of the braggadocio and the violence and the menace and thumping your chest. It's immense. And then we get to Ren, and the thing that I really liked about Ren was he also had like that pillar of salt. He had a lot of the imagery that was, especially coming from N.W.A, was a little more unusual, I guess you would say, from a visual standpoint, because N.W.A obviously was about over-the-top sensationalism as it evolved, and Ren was showing this kind of different level of imagery that I think is more associated with like Ice Cube or someone that's, I think, more quote-unquote lyrical, even though MC Ren is like amazingly lyrical. For those who sleep on him, just check his catalog.
They do.
But that is what stood out to me about Ren, and how he was able to incorporate this high level of visualism and lyricism while also being like super gangster and super rough, because if it ain't rough, it ain't me.
Especially, and I love his line where he says lyrics labeled with an X and not a G. I said, what the police, so now they after me. That's one of my favorite lines in the entire song right there, and it's great, and it's really like kind of accurate. Obviously they didn't put the X on it, but it's right. Really the same thing. And we get the high-pitched monster Eazy-E, who just learned how to rap how many years before this, and was like doing all this stuff.
It's amazing that he had only been rapping, period, not like making songs, but period rapping for, at this point, it would have been less than 2 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is astonishing. But as was often the case, Eazy-E, she was addicted to what it did. The pleasure it inflicted. I was like, what? And then with this stuff all down her throat and all this other stuff, I was just like, this dude is super gangster, but super hilarious.
And you know what's the funny thing about that too is that in this whole song, no one mentions subject matter like that except for Eazy-E. But we all know Eazy-E didn't write his lyrics, so
not always. He worked on them.
Okay, so exactly. So what I was thinking is like in like every other Eazy-E song, you hear references of this kind of content. So I'm like, the people around him are seeing what he's doing, so he was probably really, really that guy, as we know, and. So I'm just right. Like Eazy-E with the content every time, and his voice and just his comedic, just everything about this guy. He always, for some reason, when he's on the microphone, he makes me laugh, but in the most respectful, skillful way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Eazy comes in and kills it. And to which we have The Last Man Standing, which is the D.O.C, and it's his album. So what does he have to do? He has to set it off funky. Is that what Dre says?
Got to, man. And my favorite I don't know. The D.O.C's got a lot of favorite lines, but one of my favorites is like messing with the elite. That's like dancing with two left feet. I was like, come on.
Never smile when the doc is in the room.
And he has all the internal rhyme schemes and rhyme patterns. Go pay attention to the verse so you can hear what I'm saying. But he has, like, just lyrically, flow-wise, stylistically, I think his is the most impressive on that level. Of course, the D.O.C, unlike the rest of the people on the song, didn't really cuss when it was his turn to rap, which I always thought was very intriguing. And I've asked him about that a couple times over the years because clearly the people he wrote with or for, he cussed quite a bit. And he just said he got into their personality and their character and was able to bring that to them, but that's not really what he did, which made me think he's even better writer than I already thought he was.
And just the fact that, so at this point, the grand finale is obviously the last song on the album, and he mentions not all the songs, but some of the songs prior that we'd heard in the track listing with the formula,
right.
Mind Blowing, and he mentions another one as well, and I just thought, oh, it's Funky Enough, obviously. So I was like, okay, well, that's smart. It follows the flow of the album,
the sequence.
And then grand finale is probably, which is crazy because I can't even think of another album that has the last song as my favorite song on the album, because this is actually my favorite song on the album. That's a pretty risky thing to do as well, to have a song that strong at the end. But the D.O.C, the way his flow is, the way how quick he is, man, very impressive. And one of my favorite also lines in the song was when he says, I got raw when I came to Cali, now with N.W.A on the grand finale, because I don't know, because now obviously we're in the internet era. I feel like back then people probably didn't know certain artists came from certain areas and migrated around. So I wonder how many people were like, wait, he's not from California?
I think most people didn't realize that. And maybe even when he said that, it took a while because, of course, it's different with the internet now and you can look things up. Even if you find inaccurate information, you can at least find information. Yeah. So I don't know how many people understood or realized or what it meant to them that he was, from Texas, Dallas and stuff, and that he was one helping inject all this greatness into the Ruthless Records fold. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. So, Amir, who takes the cake on the grand finale? The D.O.C, no one can do it better.
You know what? I gotta do it to the D.O.C, man. He took it, in my opinion. He was so good. The way he starts it off, his fast flow, which I think inspired everyone else on the song. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
Okay.
The references to his songs prior in the album, and just, like you said, the two left feet, the references. D.O.C takes for me. My second favorite, if we're throwing out second favorites, is Ice Cube. And MC Ren, obviously Eazy-E, kill it as well. And I'm so happy, like we talked about in previous videos, with the production side of it, how we have even other people who aren't rapping but are contributing, like the Dre's and then the other instruments and just everything going on. And the shout outs then in the album is such a brilliantly produced and executed song.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because this is one song, like many other great collaborative songs, or where it's a posse cut, or however you want to label it, this one is one of those other examples, like with the symphony, I think. It's so many different and very distinct styles on the same song, all doing like their best.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this hard for me, because depending on the day, I think I could probably pick any of them. Like, there's no clear, to me, dominant verse, but the one that I always think about the most is Eazy-E.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Eazy-E because it's just so left field for the song, and it's just so hilarious at the same time, but it's also consistent with his character that he had established as him being kind of this, horny sexual dude in the middle of this super gangster group. And it just, he had a couple of the more memorable / funny / I can't believe this dude just said this. Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's clearly not the most highest level of lyricism compared to the other three verses, but I think for what do I think is the best as far as everything put together, I gotta go with Eazy-E. But that's me, and that's Amir, man. What do you guys think about the grand finale by the D.O.C? No one can do it better. Who had the best verse, man? Hit us up in the comment section. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe to Unique Access and to Rappin And Snackin. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
Great debaters, y'all.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangsta Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangsta Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangsta Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangsta rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your MTV Raps with N.W.A.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangsta Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangsta Rap in stores now.